Welcome to my game development stream. Let's first, as always, look at the current state of my game and then look what we want to do, what I want to do. First I start my environment. Should only take a couple of seconds. Environment is started. And here's my game. I am the blue dot shooting white dots. Black dots are enemies. If I hit them, they die and I get kills and XP. I kill enough, I get a skill point and a level up. I can choose a random upgrade. I get 3 options, which are displayed here. Plus 50 health should be obvious. Speed is running speed and shoot speed is how fast I shoot bullets out of me. These enemies work the way that if I come close to them, say if arc range, they see me, they come to me. Second one, if I hit an enemy with a bullet, they also would alert enemies around them and they would run to me. If I'm too far away from enemies, they will run back to their position. I get it. And yes, here this will run back because I'm too far away and these enemies respawn because I killed them. I can stack enemies on one dot if I run around them long enough. This will probably be changed in the future, but currently this. Now after I gathered a lot of one position, it's easier to kill them, but also dangerous. If they come close to me, I lose HP. Okay, I killed. And now it's just I get stronger, but the enemies don't currently. Well, it's not quite right. They get stronger the further away I am from the middle. Or the further the spawn point from them is from the middle. I can't currently survive if I run to all these enemies. If I choose multi-shot, I get a bit more spread, which will make advancing more easily. And these 6 HP take more HP. And now I can slowly make a pass upwards. I can. Yes, it's dangerous. Okay, now I survive, and if I don't upgrade damage, they will likely. Because I get more and more HP the further away I am from the middle, the spawn point. And I get an endless loop. This seems to be surrounded. Okay, I get one of the bugs in the game. It's the current state. And let's look what I want to do. I'm currently working on tests, so I can press my test button, then I get a recorded one, which I sped up. I wanted to have a hair speed up. Can test and as fast. This as fast is not fast enough for me currently. I can record one. I don't have an indication currently for how long it took. Test does do a real play. This is currently, it does it, and can also do multiplayer. Multiplayer is also missing, so we're currently doing real play. Can run on original speed is also happening, or I can configure it. I want to make it run faster. I have my test here. It's basically I just put all the inputs in, which have already a timestamp when they should be executed, and that's it. Here's my recorded test inputs. Only 2000 lines, not much, but this can also be improved. I think yes, I have white. This doesn't change anything. I can lower the amount of inputs. And here I set my testing object. It's exactly this point. Game testing is testing stuff. I will need more. Max speed is let's call it other node timeout. Timeout? This is not quite what I want in name. I think I had the testing stuff here. Max speed, let's call it 0 timeout. This sounds better. If 0 timeout, I set the timeout sleep to 0. Let's do one other to gather speed, and this is frame skip amount. This is a number. This is also optional. I say frame skip 10, for example. I also need one more value in here. Frame skip counter. Also a number. Well, let's go to game. Here's a pane, which I want to skip. If again game test, no, what did I call it? if game testing and frame skip amount greater 0. Does it work? Possibly undefined. Yes. Can I do this? No. I have a frame skip amount and is greater 0. Then to think maybe testing and I should frame skip. It's not quite what I want. Frame skip counter and I copy this with me. Not equals 0. One too many. Then I skip. Not perfect. I skip frame equals false. Let's remove this if skip frame, not skip frame paint. I did break something. I cannot find game. Yep. Now if frame skip counter we don't have it, then game testing frame skip counter is equals game testing frame skip amount. I set it here. Then I reduce the count. If frame skip counter is 0, we say skip frame 2 and set the counter back to the amount. Now I might even run faster. Nope, doesn't look like it. Frame skip amount. I set this value. Frame skip counter, if it's undefined, I set its value. I reduce it, it will become null, it will become 0. It doesn't look like it's doing what I want, or it's slower than I expected it to be. So this line is the one I see happen. Well, that's one. Doesn't paint it. So I think it does work. Um, E5, 6, 7, 9. It's the same speed as before, it feels like. But I should also run into here. Something still feels off. Can do 15 here or 60. I have 60 frames per second. I should be able to see so many skipped frames. I'm unsure. Let's make 120. This should mean I no longer can see each number here. It doesn't work. Let's do a number which is unreasonable. Test. No, it's definitely not working. What could it be? Paint all. And let's make one here. It's happening too fast. Let's see. Okay, yes, I'm not in a testing instance. Let's go in here. $1,000. Oh, hey, now I see it. I idiot. I only skip one frame. So it has to be the other way around now. 0 is the one frame I don't skip. And I can do a 10 again. Reload. I take away breakpoints and white test. I see less frames. still feels slow. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interesting. This will be only 2 frames per second. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Doesn't get too fast. Well, but it's doing what I want. It's Chrome again, Firefox again. Chat better time measurement, performance measurement, at least on Ubuntu. So I can test performance, start recording, I press my test button. And let's see, I'm interested. Runner, tick takes 58%. Paint does take 33%. And I only paint only every 10th frame. I skip 10 frames and paint is still using 33%. Interesting. Tick map characters is taking 47%. Concat is taking 30%. Interesting. Interesting. I don't see a source. But you totally have it? Okay. Because this file is cross-origin to this site. Interesting. So I would need to put can I see it here? Network. See, he does get a file. And I think this is a thing which says only the same URL is allowed. This is why I can't see it here. So here might be if I don't use concat, because this seems to be very inefficient, especially for larger arrays. But because I change if they change the chunk, I first have to concat them all. Well, it's something to look in later. So my test looks good. I have some performance indicator now. Well, I have to do it manually. Let's do test. Let's start time. It's a number. I want to set it. Start time is. Well, let's use performance now here. And if game ended, end game. Where did I still throw the inputs out? I do it in tick. Because you have the game here. Okay, but maybe I should remove them from performance. Let's do some changes. I want collect test inputs be an array of player inputs. I have it. I tunedly throw it somewhere else. Testing. It's not in performance. Testing, click test inputs, I put it in here. On game restart, I empty it. No, I want to change that too. Let's in the model collect test in collect test inputs. Let's wait. Collected test inputs. Let's call it this. Mm. This exists. I don't know if I need this selected test inputs. I'm not sure if I thought I could make a second one to activate it. Game testing active. And I restart with the testing keyword, then I can put in the other one, the start time. Yes, it was a start time. I still have to understand something. Yeah, I didn't want it to put in endgame because I didn't have the information, but I think it's better in endgame. So in-game testing. If testing stuff, or undefined, need to access. If testing, nope, I can testing, collected test inputs, testing, collected test inputs, and I can console log the time the testing start time performance now with the time. Here I still have, I init it, and I have testing, and I want to set these are not right. Now I collect them always. Now performance is not cleared, so I can do it. Set test seeds, I can put it in here. I think he says this could be undefined. Okay. Now he won't collect, I think, because now check if this exists. I need to go to look the order. I make a restart command with testing 2. If I restart and have testing 2, I make the start time in it. The test starts. All game restart and so them also commands. So the restart command is not part of the test. Which means I could do player input, have the restart here. Could collect them here. Unsure, so I make the easier solution. I always collect inputs. Now I should have a time. $8,100. 1,100. This is for the current input, my time. And because I don't slow the game down, this is the performance metric. So it's my first time. It's basically I can use for improvement. I'm testing the whole game. Have an indication. The whole game is relative. I played only for 30 seconds. But if I improve the game and this test would run only, let's say, 100 milliseconds, maybe the frame skip is not good enough. Should I do it without frame skip? Let's do it without frame skip. Frame skip 10. This way. See, also the size of my window probably influence the time. At least this is what I would expect it. Skip count. I should have used 0. One more try. Okay. Line 5, it did one faster this time. Let's do it this way. Now, what have I completed? Test one on all fast as CPU allows. Yes, this is happening. Although it's not very fast. Test easily to fix if gameplay changes. Be able to recommend. Yes. Max speed. Yes. I can record inputs, and now I need to be able to do multiplayer. So single testing, single player test, working, push. Now multiplayer. I could connect, then test, and then it breaks. Okay, let's see. I first have a problem that if my client sends a time, the server doesn't accept, it overrides it. Okay, Q and MS is equals this if data execute time is undefined, or data execute time is smaller or equals is also acceptable. Q and MS. No, if it's bigger equals, no, if it's bigger, I don't need to change it. Else I do this. Now I only override the execute time on the server if it's not fitting time. I have a time ticker in here. For testing, well, let's first get the test running on real speed and then look how we get the server to cooperate in time speed changes. Would also be interesting if we can run faster or slower. Slow down game speed. So now I accept future inputs, but I don't think this will make connect test, and I'm uncaught execute commands, push data. Let's sync. My test does not call a restart. This might be the problem. I do a game restart directly. This doesn't tell the server to restart. Let's check. Currently, a restart is triggered differently. I am not allowed to export it. Then I have to look again how I do a restart. I push the player input. I remember the syncing problem, so I did it. So I have to send a testing command, which is this. Let's see. I have my test inputs. Now the first one will be oh, and I have a client ID of -1. I cannot use the client ID for multiplayer testing. Just won't happen. Let's see, now I have a restart in here. Might be able to skip this. Now I press T and it doesn't work. It just does a restart. So I execute the command testing. Okay, it's not executed directly. So it will now run for the next input executed, and all the other inputs are thought to be for the current game. Okay. So the restart cannot be part of this, or at least what currently works. But for multiplayer, I need it to be an input. Test inputs. I could replace the client ID in the test and see what happens. So in here, I have the test inputs. Let's get my input point client ID is equals game multiplayer client ID, my client ID. Now I put in a valid client ID. Let's see, for a single player this shouldn't matter. For multiplayer, I'm connected. I get still my errors. This is something I have to look into. My test does not restart multiplayer conform. This is the main reason. If this runs over multiplayer, how soon does the first key press happen? 500 milliseconds. I can work with promises. Let me think. Sometime it's some time passed since I last used promises. Basically, I need first to have here my restart handle command, which I can steal again from here. And these I have to wait until the game is restarted. Let's look up JavaScript promise. No, asynchronous. It's not in single player, it's not asynchronous, but in multiplayer it is. More or less. Well, let's see. Let's see. If it's fulfilled, then something has to happen. So I set a timeout, which tracks something every X seconds. No, it resolves it after some time. Checked, resolve. Okay, I can have. Let's try around. So in a promise in here, it resolves after 300 milliseconds is not perfect. I would say I set a timeout. Check if game. Do I check it? I first have my game wheel test. Let's game state ended. Can I just set it to true? Let's first see if don't need this promise. So if I press my test button, it doesn't work. But of course it cannot work because I am currently restructuring it. Restart game or game restart, game restart. And this was the working version. Now I set the game state to ended true at the start of the test. It still works. Perfect. This gives me something to work with in my promise. So if game state ended, if it is not ended, then I can resolve the promise. Else I have to function test promise. Let's promise I'm currently unsure. To order it once my promise, return my promise. But now So I have my promise. I set a timeout. And it should repeat itself. But because it's an anonymous function, I cannot call itself. Is this a recursive? Promise has to have a type. Oh, I think is this the resolve is a type, so it's a string? Let's JavaScript promise check interval. I cannot follow. Catch. Waiting with promise. Wait until. Yes, bad. He just resolves after a certain time. I don't want to do that. Okay. But I think I can't use a wait in here. Let's see what's happened. While the game state is ended. I don't have a game here. I don't resolve, I resolve at the end. And then I wait timeout 1000. What happened? Timeout 1000. Basically, it doesn't like wait here. Could make this an async function. Or I'm async here. Timeout. Okay, but they make an interval which I clear and I resolve. This might be the best solution I've seen until now. This is an until and I give in the function. Let's steal it, copy it better. This is a function and test promise, until is a promise, till my promise. Is it a promise? Yes, it's a function. Well, let's make a function out of it. I would say function, because until promise, something like this. Let's see. I return this thing. And maybe I did create one bracket to I'm not sure. New promise. Oh, I did delete some bracket. That here. It looks correct. I first need a function, which is it a function? No, it is more a Boolean. No, it's a function. And time is 100. And my promise then. Do I have the then? Oops, then I put a function in here. And I could also catch, but don't think I need it now. So it's like this. I think so. I should test every 50 milliseconds. I hope this is correct. I press test. Now one's on original speed. Because I now use the okay. Qt command. But why? I set these in the test. The game should keep being the same. I don't clear the testing. Why is this lost, this information? Handle command. Push it. Fine. I execute a restart. Here I set the testing. Okay, here I reset it. I have testing. So the problem is, in multiplayer, one client will trigger this. Doesn't need to be. All clients I control in the test, so I can set these values. So do I need to set this here? Testing active. Why do I use it? Set it to true. But I never use it, so it's not required. My trigger is this object defined? Oh no, is this set? So I would change it. This testing object maybe does not exist yet. So let's open it. I don't need this testing active because this is if this object is set or not. So I will remove it. And see, I can remove this. I can remove this. So if game point, did it do game small? Oh, I'm a caps lock. Game testing. If this exists. Else I just want and this is not the case. I want to set the start time. Let me think. Cache the player inputs once happened. Okay. I send a restart. I wait till it's restarted and then I send all the commands. I set the testing object. I no longer override it. Let's see. First I have my testing. Gives me my test inputs. Perfect. I press test. It runs faster. Perfect. And now I connect. And he doesn't do anything. And the frame drop is I expected because no, I have no frame skip. There should not be. But okay, I can also not do a 0 timeout. See if this changes something. Connect test. Okay, the frame doesn't look weird this time, but I did not collect inputs. He did not send them. If I swap, did he send? Okay, he sent all the inputs, but the execution time was overridden. And if he presses all the buttons instantly, it does not work. So only reset the execute time if the execute time is bigger. That's wrong. If the execute time is smaller than current milliseconds, would mean it's in the past. I have to overwrite it. So it was the wrong way. And now let's replace. Did I connect multiplayer? I don't think I connected. So now I'm connected. Now I test. I have a ping and he plays. And missing chunk creation. Maybe I have to look into it. .41. Now I disconnect and I test again. Looking good. Now I test because it doesn't. Oh no, no, I had. Okay, I'm not connected. Currently not connected. I connect again. I make my own new test. And I'm interesting, I don't get inputs. This is problematic. In multiplayer, I don't record. Moment. Let's do I load, connect first, then play. No inputs. Okay. I think I have to improve the test, but why do my inputs are not recorded? Go here. Enter a command. My execute command and the send multiplayer is just a way around. If testing, have the restart. And in case of player input, I push the player inputs in here. But I also have a case where I cache these inputs. No, it's not the replay. Maybe it's easier to search this again. On handle command. Okay, here I push them so they are not collected for multiplayer currently. But I'm now multiplayer independent, I think. So it doesn't matter if I'm multiplayer or not, so I can collect for both. Let's think. Handle command is before it has timestamps. This is bad. I'm timestamp dependent. So if I execute a command, do I have a timestamp? Okay, and handle command is this is something only the player pressed. So I am definitely interested here in player inputs. Game state, connect info, player left, time update. Don't need to record these. The restart is the last interest. Oh, I can also record. For now I will throw it in here. Let's see. Out multiplayer. Get. Now I connect. Restart. No, this was not the test restart. Am I connected? It's open. Looks connected. One more try. Connection. I have inputs. Okay. And if I reset, I have 44 new. The time does not get updated. Some problems, but simply put, it works. Now I need to set up for 2 clients. And see what happens. Okay, make the window smaller. Wait a second one. Connect. Restart. Doesn't matter, I can now press the restart for data. One with this, one with the other. Post die. I now have test inputs. Both have 45. Client ID 3, client ID 2. Execute times. Let's. Okay. Copy object. Let's make a test folder. Test. Move the player inputs in the test folder. Did I not create a test folder? Delete. Folder, not file. Test. Now put the game test in here. Move. Test inputs. Yes. Let's create a new file. Test multiplayer inputs. Okay, failed. I fix it copy object. Works. Now I need this part. Test inputs, let's call it 2, or should I? And it's multiplayer. Yes. Test multiplayer. Let's call it this way. Now I could use multiplayer inputs, and it won't work. Now my client will override each client ID with itself. I don't have 2 players. And I also need to create a second game client. And in the way I play this game, I don't need frame skip. I don't need to paint at all. Which means I can frame skip counter. Frame skip amount 0 will never skip. I could do a minus number, would mean never paint. Let's do it. But it's also not apparent. Let's make another property. Do not paint. Do not paint. Boolean. Optional. Do not paint. Let's go to game. Whatever this is. I want the runner, which gets longer and longer. Testing point. Not be best. Skip frame is false. Let's do a second condition if game testing point do not paint, then skip frame equals true. Do not paint, true, skip, okay. Now if not paint, I see what happens. Don't see anything. Perfect. end it once in real time. Okay, I can move it here. Oops. Something. Okay. Yes. I did put in the new inputs. Now, can I create a game without I need the default game data. I don't need the event listeners. So it should not matter. So create game creates a game, but it does not return the game. Which we should. Do we also need the runner? Yes. Can we stop a created game? I don't think. We forever do the set timeout. It's if I close game restart. I need a close game. Export function close game. Game. See, I need a game close game equals true. Let's create this thing. An optional boolean. And it's simple. If I close the game, I will no longer run. If game point close game. If it's not the case, then I will do a set timeout. And close the game. I also need if game multiplayer WebSocket. If I have one, game multiplayer WebSocket close. Need to close the connection. Close game, this will stop the runner. And I think then everything is cleaned up. Console log closing game. Now My test. Come in here with a game client. Let's try player inputs as input. What's player inputs? Should be, yes, an array of inputs. I will use them here. Should do it. I need function. This is difficult. Should I be able to... No, I can't use multiplayer inputs for single player, but I can use single player inputs for multiplayer. Also, if it's... So I should separate them. So multiplayer inputs, for single player inputs, I don't need to change the client ID. But for multiplayer, I need to create more clients. But let's again function count client IDs. Do I want get client IDs? So this is a number array. Let clients number array is empty. I need the player inputs. Determine for player input const player input of player inputs if oh, it's a set of numbers. Let's change it. Set number. It's a new set. This makes it easier. Don't know if I need to write it here. Then I just say clients add player input. The set will figure it out. No, client ID. Set will figure it out if that's it or not. And at the end we turn clients as a array. Set. Let's return it as an array. Can see later. Let's rename this method in one game with player inputs. That's also const player IDs equals client IDs. This is over the player inputs based on const game count. Well, it's more player count. Player count is player these lengths. If should I, yes, let's do it. If player count bigger null, no, is bigger 1, else Let's do one game with player inputs, single player. Oh, one moment. Let's think. Currently, I can. So if the player count, I have to do multiplayer. But if it's not, I can decide. But I don't need single player to run in multiplayer. Okay, let's do it. A function. I need secure game, player inputs, and this happens. I can throw this in. This would also work in multiplayer, but let's do it. Game. Nope, small game. Players. And now I need multiplayer. Let's change it up. Let's do this calculation here. Player IDs might take a while to get them, so we need a number array. So it in here too. Game, player inputs, player IDs. Now I need games, multiple. This is an array of games, and the first is a current game. For every game, no, for every player, every additional player, I need to create a game. I currently cannot create games. Let me think. Start more. Can create the canvas for it. Add a game count, but I never use it, I think. Well, I'll keep it in here, although I don't use it. Don't know if I... okay. For this reason, I had the game count. So I basically want a game without CTX, but Create Default Game wants to have these. And the canvas element and the CTX are required. If I make them optional, let's see what happens. Optional canvas and optional No, this don't need the question mark. Question mark needs to be here. So let's see. 5 errors, not too many. Two new errors better. So I need, if I'm not skipped and I have a CTX, I can do it. And who's the other one? Game Paint. Oh, I think this is just forgotten to remove. Perfect, no new errors. Cleaning up these errors, was this a task I wrote down? Clean up errors, okay, it's one of the next. Now I no longer need CTX, now I can make them optional. Can I make them optional? Or undefined? Or undefined? Couldn't change anything. Now in main, I can do a boot. Call it for testing. It's a boolean and it's false by default. And if not for testing, I do this stuff. Let's see. No, I need let's split it up in two parts, I think. Go back. Go. Okay, I do it. Nope, wrong. So if I do I need undefined? Let's just call it undefined. I need game. Is the game. It cannot be constant. Doesn't know game. Me. Now I need to remove these. And now I can create a game for testing. And I need to return it to get it. Return game. I do one runner. Okay, I think I have everything. Now I go to test. For, oops, give me let e equals 1, I smaller, player count, I plus plus, wait game. No, I do not export it, but canvas ID can also be undefined. And then I have it. Okay. Back to testing. I should be able to import. I should be able to put undefined in here, and for testing to true. Able to games push this game in here. On games. Now I create all the games, and at the end let's go back. Games push, but games I dot close game. No, what did he do? Oh, I did close game. Help me. Okay. I close the games. I create the games. I need 2 games. I point. How do I connect? Play inputs. I just WebSocket connect with the game. Okay, perfect. Now, because I'm multiplayer, I need to connect. Let me import. Okay, I create the games, I connect. I have to set stuff. I need to set this for all, but let's see. Frame skip amount, I don't zero timeout. False, I can take, but do not paint is true. These do not paint. Let's do it this way. Games I testing. He requires the other ones. Let's sync. Start time. Then I put start time again in here. Performance now. So I connect, I create, and I connect. The connection takes time. And open. Oh, I set the WebSocket moment it's open. Perfect. Now I have started multiple multiplayer connections. But I also need to check if my game multiplayer WebSocket, if I don't have one, I also need to connect I put it here, and this one also needs, but it does not do the do not paint. Let's do it this way. So if I'm not in multiplayer, I connect myself, I put the start time in my testing object, okay, the other games I have just started, so they cannot be running. This game I can just set to end it, just to be sure. Now I need to trigger the restart. No, first I need to wait. Constant wait for multiplayer connections. I have a promise. No. Wait. Here is a function. Okay. I want this to be separated because it will get bigger. 4. Can't call it game because I already have game. For every let's call it T game. Oh God. T. Don't change it. Const T game in games. If no, I don't need if T game point multiplayer. Why not? Did I mess something up? Games is a game array. T game is a string. Why? Oh, in keyword off. T game multiplayer WebSocket. If I don't have a WebSocket, I return false, and otherwise I return true. Now I will this can fail. Shouldn't wait forever. Well, let's wait forever. Now everything after it needs it's not good practice, but well, let's do it. Async Currently choose player. Yeah, okay. Now I can just wait. Now let's call it a name and then do wait. I did so. Now this waits to finish. And if it's finished, I disconnect. Perfect. What is the next thing? I am connected. I can restart. One client needs to send the restart, and it's the main game. And now I need to wait for the restart. And I only wait on the main game. I don't know if it's enough. We will see. And after, don't wait for restart. Oh no, this is order. Let's make it this way. I set my game state to true. I set restart and then I wait. This makes, I think this is more readable. Let's call it. And now I need the player inputs. I need all the player inputs, but I need to set the game ID and I need to I have a list of player input of player IDs. From the player inputs are these player IDs. So I need to know who sends what. Be accurate. So let me think. I go over every player input. Every player input has an ID. And I want the index. So I need the game index. Game index is games point find turns the value of the first element in the area where the predict. No, find index. Returns the index. Well, I can also return the game. Game with correct with matching ID. Does it work? I don't think so. So the games have different IDs. I'm actually not games find player IDs. Find index. Player index is find index. As a predicate is true, which would mean eins einplex where input client ID is equals give me. I need. Let me. Value number. Yes, this should be the value. And I use it. If I have the value, should get the index, and with the layer index, I can now take the games. I think this could work. Oh no, not perfect. The one who will have to send it is this one. Wait for restart. I never waited. Okay, wait. Wait for restart. Now. See if it works first try. I reload. I make it big. I test the test button. First one once. It works. First try. Okay. Let's repeat. I have a missing chunk. Console log, which I have to fix. Okay, I need to record a new one, I think. But so the score of 0 is not so pretty. Let's. It looks like it was cleaned up. Let's. Don't know. Use these. Let's create. We start. I will use 3 connections. All I do see here 3 connections. I press my test restart. Oh god. Okay, this is dangerous. Survive. No. I did get a score. Let's see what happens. But I only won with 1 client. I don't like it. Let's do a new try. This I set up is here, this I set up is here, and now there are not infinite many enemies coming. I want at least do 1 skill point with each client. At least I want to see with tricards. Okay. Let's use Pierce here. Let's use health here. Barely survived. And let's use multi-shot here. Now let's them face down. And I go multi-shot. And now let's. I think I moved with everyone. Let's die. Perfect. Let's get the copy object. Test multiplayer inputs. Can I? No, I can't. So I have changed the inputs to a new recording. I can close these, I can reload, and I can press the test button. I think it's already desynced. The one I controlled is dead. Oh no. Not working perfectly, but I probably don't have information on why it did not work. Player action too late. Too late? This is strange. Could be that 3 clients together are a problem. Let's clean up again. The replay now works the same. I'm unsure. No, if a replay is not exactly the same as what I did, I have a problem. Let's look first. Key press is on 800 milliseconds. Shouldn't be too bad. And I did not get the too late. Now I get it. I have the feeling he cannot keep up with 3 clients. Which is reasonable. Then let's do 2 clients again only. So the important thing is the recording worked with 3 clients. There's well, that's the problem now. I make new connections, I connect my multiplayer, I drag the recording button, try to drive. I haven't. Great, I cannot see it here. I do multi-shot on the left, right, pierce on the left. So here's multi-shot. I have skill point, multi-shot, died. Let's die with the other one. I died. Let's get the object. Let's throw them in here. I throw it in. Let's close this one. Break the test button. Now I have 2 clients. Go smooth. Is again too many. Could it be that a smaller window is still affecting test? No. But these are more enemies which attacked. This one bullet which barely reached them. Okay, something for the next time. Let's commit the progress. This is testing, work in progress, multiplayer testing, having, no, not sync issues, having multiplayer testing, still having recording-ish play issues. So this is commit, this I can push. Let's write it down. Test can also do multiplayer. When multiplayer is recorded, the replay enemies be different. Okay. Then I stop here for today. See you next time. Bye bye.